Run through the tape. In life, never give up. Run through the tape.
Dick, Brent, Rebecca, thank you one and all. Appreciate it. Inside the NBA, presented by Kia, is coming your way next from Studio J. Shaq right here. The Hall of Famer, Isaiah Thomas, right over there. 3D Dennis Scott. We've got highlights from all 6 games, including a wrap-up on the Warriors win and Portland. Plus, with the week off, a double dose of foolishness. A double wide version of Shaqtin' Fool.
This water's colder than a mug. Get that?
And how cold's the mug?
Colder than.
It's Inside the NBA, presented by Kia, and it's up and running from Studio J. Great to see you out there. Shaquille O'Neal right here. 3D, Dennis Scott filling in for the Emmy nominee, Charles Barkley. Just because you're in a seat, I said you're filling in for him.
Right here.
Isaiah Thomas in for Kenny Smith, just in his seat. I'm Matt Weiner in for the Emmy nominee, Ernie Johnson.
There you go.
Here on the Emmy nominated Inside the NBA. Got our thing going now.
Hey!
Talking about the car wash.
All right. Shaq to the Fool coming up later.
Yes.
Extra long version.
Yes.
And I'm going to say it, I think the best ever.
You think so?
I think it's the best one ever.
We shall see.
It's coming up a little later in the show. We'll start with the best team in the league, poised to achieve something they hadn't done in nearly 4 decades. Steph Curry and the Warriors in Portland. You just saw it here on TNT. Robin Lopez to C.J. McCollum, who's got some extra minutes tonight with all the injuries in Portland. No LaMarcus Aldridge, no Nicholas Batum, no Chris Kaman available for the Blazers.
We were wondering who was going to step up tonight. Damian Lillard kind of set the tone. The rest of these guys, let's try to steal one at home.
Damian got to work early on.
Isaiah Dennis, what I love about Golden State, tough to play in a place like Portland, but these guys never panicked. They were down early, kept their composure, and stepped up.
Lillard felt the contact and knocked it down.
And Lillard came out tonight to make a statement. He accepted the challenge of playing against Curry. But as Shaq said, Golden State and Curry just have a
Oh, he can do that?
Yes, he has house.
Oh, this kid has it all. I'm so jealous. I wasn't born with
It's a
this
rare
kid.
dunk at halftime. This group is called Dual Design.
Ooh, get it. Oh.
And they're very shiny and flexible.
Ooh, PU.
And then this is the Blazer mascot, Blaze the Trail Cat, and a friend of his. And then, here in studio, Shaq and Underdog.
Nice form, Underdog. Squeeze.
Put it on a T-shirt, Underdog. Squeeze. Hold it. Yes.
Squeeze, Underdog.
Underdog spends a fair amount of his spare time planking.
Yes.
So this was natural for him. Third quarter, Curry and the Dubs get right to work for 3 and for another 3, and then how about a step-back 3? His last 4 games in Portland, he's averaged 34.5 points.
Matt, we knew it was coming in the second half because they do it every game. Golden State, 37 assists tonight. They share the wealth.
They had a 21-3 run. He scored his 14th 30-point game of the season. That's Draymond Green for the layup, and just like that, it's a 13-point Golden State lead. Curry to Andre Iguodala. Nice night for Iguodala as well. He had 21 off the bench.
Cookies, let's go.
Turnover, Curry. Iguodala, ball game.
Matt, you know what? I got to go with this kid for MVP because I'm watching, he always makes the right play. A lot of guys, I'm forcing my points or I'm getting, but this guy always makes the right play. And if he could score a lot of points most of the game. But I just love the way this kid played. Those highlights were very impressive.
I'm going to take your advice and consider it when I cast my vote.
Oh, you vote?
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
First Pacific Division title
Matt,
for the
you gotta
Warriors
vote.
since 75-76. Golden State's 58th win, so they're now one shy of their franchise record for wins. 41st win of the season by double digits.
How'd you get a vote?
They gave me a vote.
I mean, how do they select you to get it.
Oh, I don't know how that happens.
So they really, like,
Secretive process. There
I know what it's called. Matt Illuminati.
are candles. There's a lot of chanting involved.
Yama, 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 yama.
Who's the committee that selects the writer?
That's a
Can't tell
question
you,
I can't
Isaiah.
answer. It's a
Yeah,
question
he
I
can't tell
answer.
you.
I was sworn to secrecy in a blood ceremony. Let's hear from Steve Kerr after the Warriors win.
Feels great. You know, as Alvin said, if you haven't done something for 39 years, you better celebrate it when you finally do. So, great moment for our franchise. Kind of shows how far we've come the last few years and all the work that so many people have put in. You know, obviously I just got here to jump on the bandwagon, but what they've done the last couple of years as an organization, you know, the players putting in the work, it's all come together, and it's a special night for the Warriors.
Was the celebration still relatively understated, or did they?
Yeah, it was understated. We have T-shirts. Eric Hausen got us some T-shirts, and the guys were excited. I think they took a group photo. They've probably all put it on Instagram already, but it was a good celebration relative to our accomplishment, but also with the idea that there's more to come.
You see that?
75-76. That was a long.
No, but I would love to play for a coach who knows about Instagram. Awesome. That's nice, man.
Phil didn't know about Instagram?
No way.
No?
He ain't like your cell phone. He ain't like you doing all that stuff?
Oh, none of that.
No more. You can just no rapping, no acting movies?
Nope, it's just chanting. Like he come and say, close your eyes. We be in there like, focus on the game tomorrow. I'm like, Shaq, wake up, huh? What'd you say?
Reason to celebrate. 1975-76. That was a long time ago.
Long time.
For you
Yes.
kids at home, that was the bicentennial celebration, 1976. I keep asking you guys, they're the best team in the league. I mean, easily at this point. Are they the team to beat?
They're
Which is
absolutely.
always a different question.
Yeah, absolutely the team to beat. I mean, when you have this kind of record from start to finish and you're playing this well, you know, you're everyone's big game. Everyone wants to beat you. And going into the playoffs, they will be challenged. They will be tested. However, they've been tested all season long. They've been consistent. Mm-hmm. The surprising thing about them is that we always talk about their offense, but their defense is the thing that's been consistent the whole season long. And I think it's the thing that'll carry them throughout the playoffs.
The only unfortunate thing for them is they're playing so well, they have to win. Yes, they're still a young team, but the 59, 60 games that they may win, they have to win the championship this year because next year it's going to be tough to repeat. Everybody's going to be picking up what they're doing. They have to win it this year.
This year?
I think so. Because,
Championship or bust?
I mean, you know, Isaiah, you know, when I played with Dennis, we always used to say championship, bust, words of the great Charles Barkley, anything else is uncivilized. You know, they're playing well. They got to win it this year because you wouldn't want to see this lose in the first or second round, then you have to start all over. So I think they have to win.
No, he's right.
Well, Matt, they have all the ingredients. They've always been a good offensive team. Now they're sharing the basketball, 37 assists tonight. You talked about their defense. And we're not talking about Iguodala was a starter last year. Now he's coming off the bench.
Yep.
David Lee was an all-star. Now he's coming off the bench.
Got two All-Stars coming
Both
off the
of
bench.
those guys, when Steve Kerr started the year, you say, you know what, guys? I know who you are. I know you've been all-stars before, but I need you to come off the bench for the big picture. I think we overlooked that because a lot of times, Shaq, you talk about it. Our egos sometimes get tarnished. I got the big contract. I've been playing 30 minutes, and now the coach telling me to come off the bench. So I think that's huge for David Lee and Iguodala to do that.
Draymond Green is a different player.
That's right.
Versatile defensively. Obviously, Klay Thompson is one of the better perimeter defenders. They're not missing
58 and
much.
13. Woo.
And then how deep they can go now with Livingston and different guys. Zealy's finally healthy.
Yeah, and when you're the best team and you've had the best record, as Shaq said, you have to win this year because the pressure is on you. But you always feel like you should dominate, you know, and that's where we'll have to wait and see if Golden State can dominate in the playoffs because you can have the best record, you can be the best team throughout the regular season, but do you come and dominate in the playoffs? And that's when everybody kind of takes a step back and say, okay, you're for real.
That's interesting. That would be a pretty significant leap from a 6 seed that lost its first-round series last year to dominate in the playoffs and reach the NBA Finals. By the way, another note on Steph Curry, his 79th career game with at least 5 made threes. That ties our friend Reggie Miller for second all-time, 79. Wow. All right, Sixers in Sacramento, sorry.
That's right, get it right. Big
That's Cuz.
Let's see if he put up them DLNs. Oh, Cuz. No, that's your fault.
Nerlens Noel in transition for the dunk. Here's Cuz.
Okay.
Second effort, got it done.
DeMarcus Malone.
Are you impressed by Cuz? Did that impress you?
Yeah, he's working hard. He's staying out of trouble. George Call. Putting up big numbers.
Isaiah Cannon there with the first quarter buzzer beater.
Just got to learn how to win now, Matt.
Here's Cuz. Huge numbers tonight, once again.
Let me hear him.
I'll get into that. Ben McLemore to Rudy Gay. He's been very good lately.
Yeah, Gay has been good lately, and they're starting to accept and understand George Karl's system that he's bringing in.
Thomas Robinson, the former King and several other things, past Cuz and lays it home. Philly by 7 at the half. Ray McCallum finishes with the contact. Gay spins, hits. Game tied at 78. Gay's not done. Puts it on the floor again. The big body takes that contact and one.
Oh, Rudy in attack mode tonight.
That's a strong move right there for Rudy.
Gay went for 21, by the way.
Neck.
Robert Covington on the business end of the alley-oop here. And one. And it's 98-97. Covington went for 21. More from him. 3 from the wing. Philly on top. 103-100. This is a team that had lost 15 straight on the row. Was this going to end the streak?
Philly's a team that's lost 15 straight, but the one thing you know about them is they're always going to compete and play hard.
But late, they couldn't get a shot off, Zeke.
But that's what happens to them at the end of the game because
they
don't know how to
lose,
finish.
right?
They find a way to lose.
Oh, the misery.
Both teams.
16 straight road losses for Philly. That's their longest road losing streak since the 87-88 season. They had 20 or more turnovers for the 12th time this season already. Sacramento's now won 3 in a row for the first time since November. Cuz, 6th 30-point, 15-rebound game of the season. That's easily number 1. In fact, only Nikola Vucevic and Anthony Davis have any this year, Shaq.
That's called DLN, Matt.
Or have multiple games, I should say. 30 and 15.
Yeah,
There's David Lee. He's
Instagram Lee.
Instagramming. Got the T-shirts out. Got their division title. Got Shaq's approval.
Sure I do. What's his Instagram?
The impressive thing about this, David Lee All-Star last year. But
I don't know this.
Not as impressive as this.
Look at that work.
Impressive for which guy, though?
Ooh,
Straighten your leg out,
PU
underdog.
underdog. Ooh, underdog, PU.
Underdog, I see the package.
Oh, PU, Shaq and Charles. That's just terrible.
Underdog. Put yourself on a T-shirt.
Not good.
Underdog, put that on a jacket.
Hey, be sure to order League Pass now for the lowest price of the season and watch the race to the playoffs on all your favorite devices. Well, if Woody Allen was right and 90% of life is just showing up, then no one has mastered the philosophy quite like the Spurs. Despite predictions of their demise, San Antonio keeps showing up in the postseason and parades. And as usual, they're showing up when it counts. Like daylight savings time, the Spurs have sprung forward with 10 wins in their last 12 games as the champs showed up in Dallas. First game of our TNT doubleheader on Thursday night. Manu Ginobili back in uniform after missing 4 straight games with an ankle injury. And Spurs got off to a great start. Duncan, Danny Green, Tony Parker, corner 3. That's how they do it. Then Kawhi Leonard will get it going. Fadeaway jumper here. He went for 19, 9 boards, 3 assists, and 4 steals.
I love that, Matt. When his offensive game now comes early like this and matches his defense, he's a two-way player.
11-0 run for them there. Manu Ginobili to the rim. They shot 52% in the first quarter. Unfortunately, just 38% the rest of the way.
That great ball movement by the Spurs. That's why they're the Spurs.
Also didn't turn it over in the first. Then they turned it over 6 times in the second quarter. Something got into the Mavericks. And Monte Ellis had something to do with it.
Monte Ellis, every time he plays against the Spurs, it's kind of like they're his slump buster. Because he just finds a way to play well against them, offensively and defensively.
Spurs turned it over 16 times. On the break again, Chandler Parsons drops the 3. He's fouled. And at halftime, it's a 3-point game with Pop's team on the upper side of that score. Dirk Nowitzki, baseline jumper over Duncan. Those two have played each other about 400,000 times.
Yes.
Rajon Rondo to Tyson Chandler. Dropped it for him. Then he's throwing it down. Dallas has the lead by 3.
That's when Rondo's at his best, when you don't really call plays. You're just playing ball. Great pass by Rondo.
Monte Ellis to the rim. The lead expanding to a half dozen. Off another Spurs turnover. Ellis. That's
Bingo roll.
We called it, Matt, no turnovers in that first quarter, 15 turnovers for the rest of the game, and that's when the Spurs are not at their best.
Dallas won the third by 13. More of the same in the final quarter. Nowitzki drops the
3. That's 3 in German, Matt.
I know. Nowitzki makes a little more history here. That's a rebound. That's rebound number 10,000 for his career, in fact, and he becomes the first player in NBA history with 10,000 boards and 1,000 made threes. And with the win, Dallas ends a mini 2-game losing streak. More importantly, pulls into a virtual tie with the Spurs for the 6th spot in the Western Conference, thanks in large part to a season-high tying 38 points for Monte Ellis. And there's been some debate about what the Mavericks offense is since Rajon Rondo arrived, because Rondo's a point guard who needs the ball in his hands. Ellis is a scorer who needs the ball in his hands. What's the right formula, Zeke?
They have to find more shooters around Ellis and around Nowitzki. And Rondo is a facilitator. He penetrates and he gets others involved. And did a good job of that tonight. But Rondo has got to be more aggressive on the offensive end in terms of trying to score the ball. We know he can score it when he wants to. He can get to the basket. He can finish around the rim. But he's always thinking pass first. I think Dallas needs him to think score a little bit, because when he's scoring the basketball, as we've seen him do, he can put so much pressure on the defense, and it doesn't allow the opponent to play 5 against 3, because when Rondo and Chandler are getting the game together, neither one of them are really offensive weapons.
Right.
So you're really playing 5 against 3 because the defense doesn't necessarily respect those guys. So Dallas needs Rondo to score. And when Rondo went out of the game, and you saw Devin Harris come in the game, that's when they really elevated. That's when they picked up.
Shaq, if the Mavericks are going to win a series or more, what's the right balance for that backcourt?
Well, I think they need to focus on defense. If you focus on defense and get the ball in Rondo's hands, he loves to, get in the middle, like Isaiah said, and then get it to the right guys. I think they're going to have trouble in half court if they can't decide who needs the ball. But, Rondo is a facilitator, and, he's going to do whatever it takes to win. But, he's best at keeping everybody involved. If they're healthy, if they're shooting well, they should go pretty far.
And to add to that, Shaq, when Rondo doesn't have the basketball, Rondo has to get in there and rebound. When they were rolling in Boston, he's one of the best point guards in getting there and getting those triple-doubles, rebounding the basketball. So if Rick Carlisle can figure out a way to say Rondo slash to the basket, because to your point, Zeke, you have to hide him on the weak side of the floor, because when Monte Ellis turns that pick and roll with Dirk, there's not a shooter there. Everyone's sunk into the lane. Now he has to get in there and get some rebounds and get some easy baskets.
And 3D, I think Rick Carlisle's got to trust Rondo a little bit more.
Okay.
He's never coached him for a full season.
Right.
He's only had him for a short period of time. And if they're going to go far, those two are going to have to build trust within each other.
Spurs, by the way, who had to deal with Ellis tonight, get Russell Westbrook tomorrow night.
Ooh, little rage. Here he comes, little rage.
That's the way it works.
Little rage.
Raptors in Detroit looking to clinch a playoff spot. Speaking of Toronto there. They'd won 3 of 4 up against Reggie Jackson and the Pistons. Reggie finds Andre Drummond for the alley-oop there. Kyle Lowry has been banged up, but he was on the floor giving it a go. Setting up Jonas Valanciunas.
Biometrics, that's keeping it high.
Lowry, though, had to leave with back spasms, and he was done for the night. Jackson to Anthony Tolliver.
Bang.
Got a 3. Detroit 7 of 11 from 3 in the first quarter. Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
He's feeling it.
Season high for the first half with 18 points.
But they say shooting covers a multitude of sins, and also so does dunking.
KCP can shoot it a little bit, knocks down the three there. Detroit up by 7. But he would get hurt as well. Third quarter, keep an eye on KCP. Injured his left thigh, running into the Amir Johnson screen. He limps off. Jackson, meanwhile, having his most productive game in a Pistons uniform. He went for 28.
Finally starting to get that hot hand back. I thought he was forcing the first couple games, man. Now he's starting to settle down.
Jackson setting up Andre Drummond one more time.
And he's smarter, getting the big fellas involved, too, a lot more.
Jackson and Drummond combined to score 19 straight points to start the
Kareem.
Oh! Oh, wait. He didn't try to pass that, did he?
You got it blocked.
You got it blocked.
KCP with the dunk, fourth quarter. DeMar DeRozan to Gravis Vasquez, never shy. Knocks down the wing three.
Oh, I saw a little dance.
5-point game, Lou Williams.
Sweet Lou.
He can make buckets.
Yes, he does.
Baby Isaiah.
Love Lou.
DeMar DeRozan will pull up for the J, 2 of his 22. Toronto has a 1-point lead on the road. Jackson to KCP, 5 of 9 from the great beyond. He went for 26.
After a sore thigh, you come back and you still let it fly.
You know, the wrist is just fine.
Wrist is fine.
Wrist is
No
okay.
problem. The gooseneck still looks good.
Williams for 3.
He had him leaning.
We're tied at 99. Tayshaun Prince.
The veteran.
Oh, man.
When it's that time, the veteran comes out.
He's sipping.
Oh, no way.
Williams,
No way.
the go-ahead bucket. No. Pistons hang on to win it. And Detroit has now won 4 of their last 5. They get the victory 108 to 104. 3-game win streak. Now their longest since a 7-game streak back in December and January. Tough news on Lowry. We'll see how long his back spasms keep him out there. Just debilitating. Not good. Nothing good about back spasms.
No, sir.
Heat and Bucks, a good one for Dwayne Wade back in Milwaukee. Played his college ball, obviously, there at Marquette.
In that situation.
Bucks on a 6-game losing streak. Oh, Zaza Pachulia, the noted playmaker. Zaza Pachulia finds Miles Plumlee. Whoa. Who dunks it over Hassan Whiteside. Whiteside cut his right hand trying to defend it. He would need 10 stitches, and he was done for the night. Look at Pachulia in the open floor. Zaza!
Zaza, who you with?
It must be March Madness. It must be spring. Spring has sprung.
And that's just a little preview of what's to come in this highlight. Dwayne Wade pulls up, knocks down the jumper, knows that building well. Game tied at 49. Miami up by 2 at the break. Third quarter, Lou all day. Mario Chalmers likes that spot as well.
3-ball corner pocket.
And then Goran Dragic falls, but sets up Henry Walker for yet another Miami 3.
That was a deep money ball.
They were 8 of 19 from out there. Miami up by 13, looking good on the road. Michael Beasley, though, lost that.
On a dive.
Eventually, Udonis Haslem got it to Dragic for the layup. A 16-point advantage. All good, right, for the guys in red.
Oh, Greek Freaky left the ball behind you.
Still a 14-point lead as Wade gets the dunk. But here come the Bucks. Suddenly a 4-point game.
Oh.
Santi Silva knocks down the
Right,
jumper.
pep move. With whistle at ref.
Bucks sometimes have trouble scoring. And by sometimes, I mean most of the time.
Yes.
But Jared Bayless knocks down the jumper. And then Pachulia. Look at the
Pick a ball!
Got him.
Zaza with the
Got
pick a
him.
ball.
work, Shaq.
Feet work. Hakeem
14
Pachulajuan.
A 14-0 run for the Bucks. Wade makes a tough pass. They lost it. Wade gets it back, lays it home. Miami back by 2. 12.6 left. Bucks down 2. Ilyasova made the first, misses on the rebound. It's a jump ball. Beasley and Jared Bayless. The Bucks get it.
Should be good.
It's Bayless to the rim. No. Zaza goes after it.
Good hustle.
Zaza saves it. Chris Middleton.
All because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And the place goes crazy.
But how about the pass?
Perfect pass.
Perfect pass, falling out of bounds. presence, Middleton drops it.
Oh,
It's
man.
the night of Zaza Pachulia's life. 14 points, 11 boards, 7 assists, 5 steals.
And Dennis Scott referenced, you're always afraid to be on the bottom of that pile. They used to make that shot and run.
Take off running, yeah, take off running.
Milwaukee ends a 6-game losing streak and score their first 4-game sweep over the Heat since the 90-91 season. Miami's now lost 5 in a row on the road for the first time since the 07-08, 08-09 seasons. And things are tight. Tight, yo.
Tight, yo. I knew it was coming, man. Yeah, tight yo.
Milwaukee sitting pretty solidly at 6 at the moment, but the gap from Miami and Boston down to just a single game with Charlotte, Indiana, and Brooklyn lurking.
You think Toronto or Washington, which one of those two you think really need home court the most? For Chicago, I think we all agree when everyone's healthy, they can go on the road.
I'm going to go with Toronto.
I would think Toronto.
Yeah.
Right.
Toronto.
Remember last year, Toronto lost Game 7 at home.
They did.
To Brooklyn, so I'm trying to figure out, do they need it again for confidence?
Chicago's been a pretty good road team all year.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think Toronto needs home court. I think Washington has the guards that can go out on the road and perform, out on the road and play well. But, at this point in time in the season, every day you come into the locker room, Matt, you are looking at the board, looking at your positioning, like who we playing against, who am I going to be playing against? I mean, literally every single day. And sometimes at night when you're walking out of the arena, you'll take one more look back at the locker room and say, okay, yeah, all right. We still in 4th. Oh, no, we didn't drop to 5th. I mean, the board watching right now is insane, right?
It's interesting because so many players will emphasize to the media that, they can't pay too much attention.
They lie.
Got to look at the opponent in front of them.
They lie.
Oh, I've heard all this stuff before. Yeah. I know half of it's not true.
I'd be glad when we get past the politically correct answer.
Right, good call.
When you just really, it would be nice to be able to do an interview when the reporter comes in and he asks you, well, how you feel about tonight's game? Well, let me tell you how I really feel about the game.
That would be fantastic.
I mean, you just really go off. That would be great.
Kind of like Westbrook did, right, the other night and earlier this year?
He's done it a couple times.
Couple times.
Yeah.
Next question. What kind of question is that? Next question.
Because you're really competing and you're really intense. And, you don't feel like being nice all the time, particularly after you've lost. You don't feel like shaking people's hands and all that stuff.
Right.
Jack's going to the cup. There's nothing in the
Mickey, more tea, please.
nothing in the cup, by the way.
Mickey, more tea, please.
Stick with
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jack's cup and get his thoughts on Steve Nash with his retirement now official.
I couldn't hear you. Static.
Inside the NBA continues after this. Got to get that audio fixed.
MVP Shaq.
Hey, don't forget to check out Inside Stuff presented by Samsung Galaxy. Is this really happening at your house?
I don't have a house.
He has a mansion.
One of your houses?
I don't have a mansion.
What do you have?
What is it?
An estate.
Is it happening at your estate?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, man.
You think so?
I don't know.
I don't know. Most of us would have that sort of thing planned out ahead of time.
I have to check the
TV show
schedule.
shooting at the house.
Exactly.
The kind of thing I'd like to know.
Right.
It's going to happen at my house.
Exactly.
Check out the starters each and every weekday at 6:30 Eastern Time, only on NBA. And this week, the guys honored one of their favorites with their Steve Nash Power Rankings.
Thanks, guys. Skeets, Tess, Lee, and Trey with the starters. On Saturday, Lakers guard Steve Nash officially retired from the NBA. So in his honor, we present the Steve Nash Power Rankings, a countdown of our 5 favorite things from one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game.
At number 5, it's the looks throughout Steve Nash's career, and it didn't start off too well. Draft day, I mean, look at that suit. It's like right out of Dad's closet. Then the frosted tips, come on.
They're all right. I like those.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it got better here with the longer locks. That is the trademark Nash look. Then we needed one more, so we found a half a game where Steve Nash wore a headband. And then this last look with the Lakers, the Gatsby, as Kobe called it.
That's the classic look there at number 4 on the Steve Nash power rankings. It's the bumps and bruises, usually coming at the hands of the San Antonio Spurs.
Definitely.
This time where, his nose just busted open. It wouldn't stop bleeding.
Fixed that himself, by the way.
2010, took an elbow to the eye, went to the locker room, came back, and gave us the creepy one eyeball. But the most infamous bump was, of course, Robert Horry taking him down. Nash selling it a little bit here, and of course, it cost Amari Stoudemire and Boris Diaw a game for coming off the bench. So I'm sure Nash maybe regrets flopping a little too much there.
At number 3, it's the incredible shooting of Nash. He's only one of 6 players in NBA history to officially pull off the 50-40-90 mark. That's 50 from the floor, 40% from 3, and 90% from the line. And he's the only guy to do it 4 times. No one else did it 3 times. Not Bird, not Reggie, not Dirk, not Durant. He pulled it off maybe because he didn't shoot a lot, but if you ask him in his last couple of years, his one regret during his play that he probably didn't shoot enough to take off pressure from his guys.
At number 2, Steve Nash, 2-time MVP. That still sounds a little weird to say.
Kind of crazy.
Sure.
Consecutive MVPs in 05-06. Did he steal one from Shaq there in 05? Some people think so. But he does have them. He's one of only 10 players to ever win consecutive MVP awards. And he's the only player in history under 6'6" to win multiple. That's
Definitely the most fun guy in the league for those years, too.
At number 1, it's the passing ability. This is why he was fun, why his teammates loved playing with him. He always found them, always looking to give it to them where they wanted it. Jared Dudley recently quoted as saying, "Hey, I like getting it as soon as I planted my left foot." So Steve Nash knew it. Planted my left foot, boom, the ball was there. 3rd in all-time assists behind Stockton and Jason Kidd.
Made passing cool in the early 2000s, which was quite a treat, if you remember those times.
Without a doubt. So there it is, the starters, Steve Nash power rankings. Agree, disagree, let us know. And as we send it back to you guys, we want to know, what will you remember most about Captain Canada himself?
Well, I'll ask the questions around here, guys. But I was going to ask that. Steve Nash, when I think of Steve Nash, who announced his retirement last week, had the official press conference earlier today, I think of someone as unique, which you can't say about many NBA players. There's just no one else who played quite like Steve Nash. What are your thoughts now that it's all over?
Well, they mentioned something. Yes, and that's what I think about Steve. Steve was a great ambassador for the game. He's a great player. I played with him 2 years in Phoenix, and he's a true definition of a great player. He looks for everybody else. He makes everybody else better. A lot of those guys you won't remember after they left Steve, like Raja Bell. After he left Steve, he kind of went under the rug a little bit, but he made guys play at a different level, and people don't really remember this Steve Nash when he was with Dallas. This is Steve Nash they remember when he played with Phoenix. He brought Amari's game to a different level, and he always made a great pass. I wish I was a couple of years younger when I played with him.
It's kind of a revolutionary time when he arrived in Phoenix with Mike D'Antoni, and they never quite made it over the hump and into the finals, but they played differently than anybody else was playing at the time.
Absolutely, and I think he's a guy that, for a 2-3 year period of time, he had a run in this league as a point guard that, no one has ever really had in terms of the numbers that he was putting up and the way he was playing the position. He was dominant at the position for those couple of years, and definitely first ballot Hall of Fame. But what I remember him most for is just his community activism away from the floor.
Never afraid to speak his mind.
Yeah, and he was always a humanitarian. He was always an activist. So the way he conducted himself out on the floor, he also stood for equal rights outside of the playing arena, which was big.
He's always been willing to express those opinions. And by the way, he cited you as one of his role models for playing the position of point guard. This is from the Players Tribune. I looked at my hero, Isaiah Thomas, and thought to myself, okay, I'm nowhere near the player he is, but if I get better every day for 5 or 10 years, why can't I be as good as him? He was looking to your game.
Well, you're always honored when someone, speaks that highly of you. And the legacy that Steve has left, I saw a tweet from Steph Curry when he said he looked up to Steve Nash in the way he played. So to leave that lineage and to have that, continue on throughout the point guard position is great for all of us. And, we got some guys who are playing the point guard position extremely well right now.
And for me, I had a chance to see a young Steve Nash in Phoenix, Shaq, when he was playing behind Kevin Johnson and Jason Kidd. So he would sit there and get before every practice and before every game, get shots in, watch film. He said, one day I'm going to be a starter and I'm going to be ready. So I got to see that Steve Nash that was waiting for his opportunity, worked hard every day in practice, and when it came, he took full advantage of it.
And an amazing story, too. A Canadian from a relatively small school, Santa Clara, comes up, not a starter immediately, and winds up a future Hall of Famer after 18 seasons, couple of MVPs, 8 NBA All-Star selections.
What's wrong, Shaq? What's MVP, Joe?
Some might argue he only could have gotten one, but I think I know one of those people.
It's static in my microphone.
And third all-time in assists. And Russell Westbrook looks at Steve Nash and says, I don't want to play anything like that guy. I want to play completely different in my own way.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's setting the standard for a different kind of guard. Derrick Rose, I thought when he was healthy, he played with a certain type of ferocity and he played with a certain type of, I just call it gangster.
Can you say that on the air, sir?
Yeah. And now, Westbrook plays with that Mike Tyson ferocity, that type of gangster attitude where he comes to the arena and he's like, hey, look, I'm here to win. I'm taking what you got and you can't stop me.
Every single night it happens. He's going at, folks, 100 miles per hour. OKC trying to finish off a season sweep of the LA Lakers. And as Kanter has become an offensive factor for OKC since the trade from Utah for the first time ever. Tonight he had a double-double in a single quarter, 15 and 10 in the first quarter. You buying this? Kanter is a go-to post guy for OKC?
I wouldn't say a go-to post guy, but he's very, very talented. When the main two get tired, you can give this guy a couple of looks, but he's going to get most of his baskets by just hard work and hustle. Right there, the drop-off play, a lot of offensive rebounds, he just has to run the floor, but I don't think he's a go-to guy yet because Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant will dominate the ball. But if he does this, run the floor,
that's not
hustle.
That's McGarry right there.
That's Mitch McGarry.
No matter who it is, if he does that, that guy there, I don't know.
As long as one of those two run the floor, we good.
Who he play for? I don't even know who that is. I know who that is, though.
Oh!
I know who that is.
Barbecue chicken!
DJ Augustine setting up Westbrook there. Kanter, by the way, went for 25 and 16 in this game. And here he is one more time. Pick and roll. Kanter to the rim.
That's an SLN right there.
Shaq-like number.
That's right.
All right.
6-15.
Up by 15 at the half. Lakers trying to cut into it. Jordan Clarkson. Off the turnover. Clarkson had a career night. The rookie out of Missouri had 30 on 12 of 19 shooting. But Westbrook plays for the guys in white.
Here you go. Go, Steve. They said go.
And no one plays in the open court as well as he does. We talk about LeBron James in the open court, but I think Westbrook and Harden are the two toughest people right now to guard in the open court.
I'm changing his name to Russell under the E by Westbrook. Man.
9 of 17, 27 points, 11 assists. And then Dion Waiters gets it going offensively.
Lately, Matt, he's starting to find his hot hand and really feel comfortable now in OKC.
Thunder put up 127 and win it by 10. They've now won 4 in a row and find themselves a full 3 games up on Phoenix for the 8th spot in the Western Conference. Westbrook has averaged 11 assists over his last 17 games. As for Kanter, second straight game with a 15-point first quarter, and he's averaging 22 and 13 over his last 8. And there's OKC looking more and more solid in the 8th spot. If it comes down to an OKC Golden State first-round series, exactly, you sort of shudder the possibilities there. Are you shuddering for the Warriors or just shuddering generally?
I'm just shuddering generally, meaning that I can't wait. I hope it does happen when it's looking that way. And the way Russell has finally trusted his teammates to give up the basketball. Anytime he now can get 10, 11 assists and still get his 30 shots, he understands he can play his game, but trust his teammates to get to the next level.
Go ahead, Isaiah.
No, you, please.
Not only that, Matt, and Isaiah and Dennis knows this. When you're playing a team that has nothing to lose, that's the worst type of team to play.
Yeah.
They're in the 8th spot. Golden State's, the favorite. They have an MVP candidate. So do we, but we're not supposed to win. That's the worst type of team to play.
And they've kind of been in that position all year because of the injuries in the hole they dug early on.
But when you look at Westbrook in terms of those 10, 11 assists that he's getting right now, and you look at the trades that they made, OKC without Ibaka, without Durant, they're still an extremely talented team. And when you add Ibaka and Durant back to that mix, dare I say they're the most talented and deepest team in the West when you look at the additions that they've made.
Amazing.
So, you know, they've retooled and rebuilt in the middle of the season, and you got to give that front office a lot of credit for the talent that they've put around Westbrook. It's like they have a totally different team playing right now.
Absolutely, and a dangerous one at that. Coming up, word has gotten around the league. It is the last segment in which a player wants to find himself, but many will next. It's Shaqtin' a Fool.
Now, Ilyasova runs the floor. Nobody home on that lob. That could be on Shaqtin' a Fool.
Yes.
Time for the Sprite dunk of the week, and it comes from Nikola Mirotic. That's right, Nikola Mirotic.
Oh!
The Rook.
Oh, punch dunk.
Got him. You thought he was just a three-point shooter? No, he has hops.
Oh, who was that? Who was that?
You got Jason Maxiell.
Maxiell.
I see you,
fast.
Jason. I see you.
Wow. Nikola Mirotic, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there was no TNT game last week, which means we had a whole extra week of foolishness to document. So Shaqtin' a Fool is not just 5 items. It is a supersized 10 items long.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Gotta sing the song, though.
I'm waiting for what? Shaqtin' Fool. Shaqtin' Fool.
One more time.
Shaqtin' Fool.
T. Kenny's not here.
Number 1, Otto Porter quickly becoming a front runner for Shaqtin' MVP. Oh! Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Shaqtin'. You're right, Paul.
I got him.
He has hope.
Number 2, Andre Miller. I call this spread eagle. Oh!
Shaq has grown hurt.
That same bird call.
Same bird call again.
Number 3, Corey Jefferson. A random full court shot for no reason at all.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
8. What was that?
Oh my goodness. In my head. 2, 3, 2, 1. He didn't even hit the backboard.
He missed it by 20 feet.
make it.
Number 4, Kendrick Perkins.
Oh, why did
Matt's 6-year-old son, Evan, makes a better pass than this.
But he's very deft with the ball in his hands.
Step to the ball, man. Step to the ball.
JR said, my bad. I was supposed to move forward.
Number 5, Ryan Kelly. A 4 travel step followed by the worst hook shot of all time.
That's R. Not Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the
That's
Mark
R. Not.
Kelly, you know.
I believe you can shoot. Number 6, Lou Ottmanson. And this right here is the worst finger roll of all time.
Don't you?
I can't finish.
Wait, why is he wiping his hands on his shorts?
Number 7,
My bad.
Shelvin Mack. When you do something foolish against the Sacramento Kings, I find out quickly. Yeah.
Look at Dominique. Dominique's like, yeah. I would have dunked that if that was me. Even the front office said that's going to go Shaqtin' a Fool.
Number 8, Manu Ginobili. As his age goes up, his awareness has gone down.
Oh! I missed that one.
Wait.
I missed
Number 9, Kenneth Faried. The manimal has rabies, and he may need to be put down.
What? Oh, my goodness.
What was that?
I said, hey, I'm doing this job. This is not Summer League.
What was that?
Number 10, Cleanthony Early.
Oh,
Check out this inbounds play that Derek Fisher drew up. All right, you take.
I told you, Shaq. Better get him. You better get him. He took off running. Better get him.
I know you ain't trying that.
Better get him. I told you.
That's the best one ever. That's the best one ever, right?
Hey,
Shaq.
Show me that one by Kenneth Fareed. Let me see the one by Kenneth Fareed again.
Kenneth Fareed thought he was in the All-Star game like Tracy McGrady when he threw off the backboard and get stuck.
Minus,
he threw it over the
minus the All-Star game, and hitting the backboard, dunking it.
I said, look, watch.
There you go. There you go.
All right, give me that.
Okay. I'm stuck.
He's not open. He's
Good
not
dribble.
open.
Okay.
Okay.
I got an idea. Hey, I got an idea.
Dominique Wilkins.
McGrady. Oh, my bad.
Well, that was great, but Clay Anthony early.
Balance real quick. I'm gonna take the ball out.
Clay Anthony
no one's
early.
open.
What?
I'm just gonna give it to the other team and get back on defense.
This is the NBA equivalent of. This is the NBA equivalent of a punt.
Yeah.
He just punted.
Yes.
We're just going to give the ball back. We're going to play the defensive
Mommy,
game.
help me.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, that's a real good one.
If I was a coach, I'd have been like, don't even take a shower. Go home.
Neto's coming up next. Those are Hall of Fame candidates.
Yeah, those are.
Neto on the other side. Stay with us. March Madness returns to TBS on Thursday. We've reached the regional stage, the Sweet 16, 6 p.m. Eastern Time Thursday. It gets going on CBS and TBS. Did you guys get your brackets in? Did you?
Of course, LSU was Sweet 16. In my mind, they are. That's all that matters. In my mind.
Maybe if they could hit a free throw.
I know.
Maybe if they could hit a free throw.
Tell me.
Possible.
I am just rooting against Kentucky. I just don't want Kentucky to win.
All right, that's fair.
Hater.
You guys all
I am a
participated.
straight
Oh,
Kentucky
Chico, I need
hater.
some
I
hater
went to
rage.
Indiana. I went to Indiana. I can never root for Kentucky.
It's that time.
Uh-oh.
Nothing could be finer than Matt Weiner.
Who sung that song? That's awesome.
Really,
Nothing
the
can
harmony.
be finer than-
The harmony is excellent.
This guy, let's blacken it up. Nothing can be finer than Matt Weiner. Matt Weiner. Matt Weiner. That's the remix, Matt. That's the remix,
I
Matt.
like it. You guys can record the next one.
Yeah, we will.
But Matt, you got to sing.
You got maybe next time.
I mean, you got.
So you guys all participated in the NCAA tournament, of course.
Yes.
To varying degrees of success. Zeke, of course, won it all
Yes,
with
he
the
won it
Indiana
all.
Hoosiers
Yes,
back
he
in
did.
1981. Got to be one of the great moments of your life.
Definitely was. But you know, the best part of it.
Oh, look at them shorts.
The
shorts. You wear
Yeah,
short
I was
shorts.
fine. Watch
Look at that
this.
shag.
What? Let me shoot it from there. Oh, you gonna give me that?
Oh, you was unselfish back
Trick
then.
him with the net around my neck.
Man.
Those were good times. But the best part about winning and the worst part about it, the worst part was that we won it in Philly, but the party was in Indiana. And we got home the next day,
The party
and
was
the
over.
party was over.
Everybody's partying
Yeah,
out.
everybody partied out.
3D, you guys reached the Final Four back in 1990.
In 1990, and Coach Crimmins and I were still mad at each other. Kenny Anderson got his fourth foul with about 14 minutes left to go in the second half. We said, do we leave him in the game? I said, Coach, leave him in.
Well, let's do it in the post.
Yeah, see, I had a post game too, Shaq.
Get him.
After
Bang.
I said, Smitty, you know I love you. I go outside and
Was that
they
the year y'all
dog me,
cheated
Larry.
us?
Oh, yeah. Cheated y'all.
Yeah, y'all cheated us.
You and Chris Jackson, Stanley Roberts. I said,
was
come out
up.
here to the deep water so I can let y'all drizz down.
Well, Shaq, what the heck happened to you?
I only made it to the sour 32.
Sour 32.
Sour 32. Wasn't that good. However, I do have a record.
Because you didn't.
Versus Indiana, as a matter of fact.
Because you didn't get very far in the tournament, we don't even have video.
Oh.
There aren't even video of those games.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh.
You know what? There's one piece of video you should have. I went 15 for 15 from the free throw line versus Indiana. Really?
Did you really?
Yes.
It was actually
12
12
for 12.
12. It was
Same
actually
thing.
Hey, underdog.
I didn't miss one. I didn't miss one.
underdog. Hey, Shaq.
Nope.
Hey,
No,
Shaq.
we lost.
You guys, folks may not remember this.
We
LSU
lost.
played Georgia Tech.
And
in
they cheated
1990.
us.
I know you guys remember. Well, here,
cheat y'all.
94-91, Georgia Tech wins the game.
Uh-huh.
3D goes for 32.
Ooh.
11 rebounds.
Ooh.
4 assists. Knocked down 5 threes.
Don't pass.
Wow.
Shaq goes for
shots.
19 and 14 in that game. 4 blocks along the way.
Clack, clack, blocked you up,
Georgia Tech
Shaq.
wins the game. 3D hoisted up 32 shots.
In college?
in a 40-point game.
It's called giving yourself a chance. If you don't shoot, you never know if you're going to make it.
No, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah, baby. I was giving myself a chance. Kenny Anderson, Brian Oliver, love y'all, baby. Malcolm Mackey, Johnny McGill, they was setting good screens.
Only made it to the solid
original
32.
AI.
Exactly.
How's that possible? How is that possible?
I wasn't that good in college. I wasn't born with the gifts they were born with.
It's worked out okay for you.
There you go.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody. See you next time.
Zeke on the big show.
32 shots.
Yeah, man, I was open.
That's a
Greedy. Ooh, it's greedy.
Underdog, put that on a T-shirt.
Play good. Dunk.